Good. Hello, Anne.
Judy, so lovely for you to come and have a chat about this beautiful exhibition, Joining Threads.
It's a pleasure. It's a wonderful show.
It is. I remember you and I chatting about it some years ago after Yetta had said maybe you could do a joined up show with SAQA.
I mean, Yetta's the perfect example of somebody who, has that sort of SAQA enthusiasm to get things rolling, and you took it on board.
With your help, so thank you for that. Yeah. I was wondering if you could talk to us about SAQA, because you are a member of SAQA, and I imagine you have been for quite some time.
I am, and I have been a member for quite some time. I'm what is called a jury artist member of SAQA. And SAQA is an organisation for art quilters and people who are interested in art, quilting as art. And they're renowned for their global exhibitions. We have 4,000 odd members globally, and it's a non-profit organisation. Their mission is to promote the art quilt, and they're dedicated to bringing thought-provoking, cutting-edge artwork to venues across the globe. And with that in mind, they define an art quilt as a creative visual work that is layered and stitched, or that references this form of stitched, layered structure. And their vision is that the art quilt is universally respected as a fine art medium. And their core values are excellence, innovation, integrity and inclusion. So that's a really fine basis to develop an organisation upon. And of course, coming here to Timeless Textiles, which is the first time that you've had such a collaboration with some other sort of organisation. And I mean, Timeless Textiles has got such a reputation of being the only commercial fibre textile gallery in Australia, but you've also really got a high reputation, and you've consolidated that reputation over the years that you've been here. So I think it's a lovely combination to be able to show work, and the work comes from all over the world. I have pieces behind me from the USA, from Australia, from New Zealand. There are other works in the show that come from France and the UK. And it's really nice to see this diversity of work. There was no set theme to this exhibition, apart from creating two pieces of work that had to be 30 centimetres square, each of them, and they had to relate to each other in a specific way. So
and as a quilter, is that a hard thing to do?
I think it's interesting to have those sorts of parameters sometimes with such an exhibition like this, because of the ease of travelling and because of the fact that everything needed to be the same size. It gives you quite a lot of challenge to work with two pieces. I mean, connecting threads can be interpreted in so many different ways, and we've got quilts here that explore all sorts of themes, from nature through to contemporary living. We've got landscape, we've got abstract pieces, we have some pictorial pieces, sort of semi-historical pieces. You've got a variety of work that, again, encompasses a whole range of different sorts of techniques, everything from hand painting, hand dyeing, to, cutting fabric into tiny little strips and stitching with lots and lots and lots of thread. So there are lots of varying techniques. And I think it's really interesting to see how the artists have created these quilts that definitely speak in some way to each other.
And what was the process, Judy, of getting this show together?
Well, SAQA put out a call for entry, and artists were invited to submit work based on this Joining Threads idea. And what they did was submit digital images of the work, which was then put into a database for the jurors, who were Jeff Clover and Kathy Copeland and myself. We had plenty of time to look at them and relook at them and relook at them again. So over that period of time, we were asked to select works that we felt were successful in their interpretation of the theme and the workmanship, the evident workmanship, and the use of materials relevant to the theme, which I think is really important, how people use their tools and materials. And then we ranked them in an order of 5 to 1. And so when the results were collated, it's certainly all my number 5 pieces are in this exhibition, and I assume that the others were equally successful. So that's how the process is done. It's completely anonymous, and coming from all over the globe, I mean, you get a really interesting reflection on what is happening in different parts of the world in terms of the textile art that's been created. I mean, I think jurying is always it's a very responsible thing to have to do, and you don't take it on lightly. You have to put your personal preferences to one side. I mean, everybody comes with their own sort of ethos and sense of design and composition, things like that. But you have to try and put a lot of that aside to simply focus on the work for the works.
And Judy, what was the criteria that you used in terms of judging for yourself?
Well, I look for work that I haven't seen before. I'm interested in work that is individual, derivative of anybody else's work that's strong in composition, colour, the way the materials have been used to express a theme. All of those things I think are integral to a good piece of work. It has to have that wow factor for me, that I look at it. And then the more I look at it, the more that I feel affirmed in my decision about it. And that's the great thing about having the sort of digital technology that we have, that you can actually look at these pieces and look at them in detail and go back and look at them again. And having made a decision, then go back and clarify to yourself whether the decision is one that will hold or whether you need to change. And so that takes place over a few weeks' time. So, but that's what I'm looking for, something that speaks to me of an individual whose work is not a replica of something.
Could you talk to people who are working away at art quilts, whether you would encourage them or support them to become part of SAQA?
Well, I think SAQA is an organisation that has so much to offer for its members. I mean, we have weekly newsletters, there are talks, they hold symposia, there's a whole lot going on. There are lots of exhibition opportunities, and it's a sort of a global networking of textile-minded people. So I think it's a very worthwhile organisation to belong to. Yeah. So I'd just like to congratulate the artists who were successful, and at the same time to commiserate with those who weren't. It's putting your work out there for exhibition is fraught with angst, and it's a difficult thing to choose a finite number of pieces of work, much as we'd like to choose more, but that's not the way it goes. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't keep trying or entering exhibitions, because the more you do it, the better you get at it too. And we all have had those rejection letters at one point now, or more than one point in my life. And so, but it's still worthwhile to create the work. Create the work is the important thing, and then sure, go ahead and enter these exhibitions. And as I said, there are lots of opportunities with SAQA to do that.
This is such a treat to have this exhibition here, because for me, seeing some of the artists who I've only ever seen in books, to have their work on the walls is amazing. I think it's such an extraordinary exhibition to be able to wander around and really look at it.
It is, it's very diverse, isn't it? But you're to be thanked, you know, I mean, without you, this would not have happened. And, you know, you've come with this wonderful reputation and expertise. And
Well,
it's a beautiful hang. It's a very nice hang, and the works look fantastic.
Yes, they're beautiful. So we encourage you to look at all of the artworks online on Timeless Textiles. And Judy, thank you very much for being part of this show.
Thank you, man. It was a real privilege. Yeah, great. Yeah, thanks.